Good afternoon, everybody. It's so good to be back. I almost forgot how to do it. I've been away a couple weeks doing things, but I've been here, but not here at this time on Fridays, but I'm here now. And I wanted to say hello. Please feel free to ask any questions you may have, and I'll do my best to answer them for you. Well, the last few weeks in Central New York have been kind of up and down as far as weather goes. We literally have gone from I thought I was going to wake up to some snow the other morning, about a week and a half ago, to we're going into a heat wave, and that's tough. That's tough on the body. And we talked last time about heat and the differences between heat and how to stay cool in this whole summertime warmth. And don't forget, if you're a non-keto person, eat lots of watermelon, and celery and cucumbers, and all of those naturally will leach heat out of your body. So, and avoid, anyways, at all times, really avoid the sugars and the carbohydrates that convert right into sugar because it's just going to amp your heat in your body right up. So, personally speaking, as we go into this heat wave that's coming, I'm going to do my best to go around the house and hide or throw out as many sugar foods as I can find because everyone will just be eating them, normally like they normally can in cold weather, and they'll just keep on plowing through them. But in warm weather, it dials the heat up in your body, and that's uncomfortable, and it'll make you a bit irritable. And so when it's this muggy and hot, basically you should just be focusing on cooling your body down. So spring has really sprung here, and I know it has everywhere else in the country as well. And I can't help but take this opportunity to talk a little bit about the importance of nesting. Um, and I know we've talked about this before, and I kind of, it's kind of redundant in a lot of ways, but I've had the privilege of walking around the yard and looking at different nests, bird nests, and it just makes me realize that we want to stay in step with harmony as much as possible when we're on our journey in life, right? We don't want to, we really don't want to step out of harmony. I mean, we do, we come back in, we go out, we come in, and that in itself is harmonious, right? But so in our journey, in our fertile journeys, um, it's so important to nest a little bit. And I know a lot of people associate the nesting phase with late term pregnancy when women are getting ready to deliver their babies, and there's a sense, an overall sense that we need to nest. We need to get the house ready and get our space around us ready. And but the truth of the matter is, and that is true, that is 100% true. But the truth of the matter is that if you go into the natural world, that space has already been prepared. In the sake of birds, it's been prepared already, right? They need to have a safe place to lay their eggs and incubate. And it's important for us also to create a safe, comfortable space around us. So having babies is the one thing that takes us out of our comfort zone, and it takes us out of our schedule, our normal daily schedule, right? Especially IVF, because we have meds and injections and appointments. Um, and even, even naturally, even when we conceive naturally, it's life as we know it has stopped to a certain extent, and you're focusing on the family, focusing on the baby or babies. So it's really critical, in my view, that we slow down, and we, as I know, I strongly encourage everyone to stop exercising. I mean, walking and yoga, is awesome. Anytime is awesome to do that. But the training, and we are in full blown training season, right? Because it's nice out. The weather's gotten better. Everyone's outside. You can go to any local sports page and just read the list of races that are coming up. And so it's people are training and doing lots of exercise, and they get out and they're rowing and all that, and that's awesome. That really is awesome. But when it comes to developing follicles or eggs, um, and even sperm cells to a certain extent, it's important to slow down, right? Stop pumping out those stress hormones, um, and nest a little bit. Take that time to take that time to take check of your home. Things that need to be done before the baby comes or before you get very deep into your IVF cycle, where you're not going to want to do anything except for stim and build follicles and eggs. So that's a very good opportunity to do that, um, ahead of everything. Don't plow through it. Don't plow through your days working overtime, working 15 hours a day, 12 hours a day. Any other time in your life, it's okay. But in this particular fertility time, you have to slow down. I've seen it time and time again. And in the last few weeks, I've actually, like I said, I've had the privilege of watching birds nest, and now some of the mammal babies are starting to be born, and they all have nests around them. So it's critical that you do that, and not the best time to redo a kitchen or you know, build a house, right? I mean, some of those things have been planned for years, right? So has your family planning. Excuse me. So slow down, take a little extra time for yourself, treat yourself a little bit, cater to yourself a little bit, get some more massage, get some more acupuncture, get some foods that you wouldn't normally eat because maybe you just think, oh, it's a little too expensive, or it's too. I really don't need it. Well, actually, you do need it. You need to take care of your soul, right? You need to take care of your spirit. And if we just keep going through our days at full speed, Mach 10, um, that's kind of, you're kind of like hands up praying that the cycle is going to work or you're going to stim well. So I do encourage everyone to slow down. And I know it's hard. And once we have families, it forces us to slow down. In other ways, it speeds us up. But once you start getting into that IVF cycle you're planning on, or even naturally, um, you really got to slow down. I do encourage that. So I'm just going to look at some of the questions and see where people are at, and maybe I can answer some. Got my trusty glasses today. I don't look like an old lady. I kind of do look like an old lady, anyways, but I'm okay with that. Let's see. Really, everyone is just talking about how they're nesting, and I think that's awesome that people are taking advantage of it. And I we do a lot of gardening around our house, and that isn't necessarily nesting, but it's something that relaxes us, right? So on top of nesting, you just can't sit around the house with pillows all around you um, all day. Although that'd be nice. Some people can, good for you. Um, but we have to fill our spirit and our time with other things as well. And so we do a lot of gardening around our house. And what that is for us is it's relaxing, right? It's relaxing. So not only do you want to nest, but you want to do stuff that is relaxing to you, right? Be it whatever. What I mean, quilting, gardening, uh, walking, bird watching. What an amazing time to be bird watching. The I can say this because I've been watching birds pretty much my whole life, and we have these huge feeders in front of the windows, and we feed the birds all winter. Watch 'em. But one thing that COVID and the pandemic, when it shut down the global economy and manufacturing, and people stayed home, the bird population really increased quite a bit. And so, what we're seeing this spring is just a super diverse selection of bird species that we don't see all the time. And that's across the board, talking to a lot of people. So you do things that make you relax, things that give you joy, right? So not only you're nesting, but you're doing things that are fun. Now, for some people, exercising is what gives them their joy. So it's just like it's a balance, And those folks, I say to you, don't increase your pace, don't increase your weights, don't increase your time your duration in which you are running or lifting, for that matter. And I do encourage you to do other things such as Pilates or yoga, and even laps, even swimming. Um, so you have to fill your time with stuff that makes you brings you joy, makes you relax. A lot of people have forgotten about the stars. I mean, I don't know. When I go out and I look at the stars at night, that's pretty relaxing. I mean, who has time, right? But I encourage people to look up. You know, look at the moon, look at the stars, look at the sun. Don't stare at the sun. Uh, look up. Everyone's looking down. We're on our screens. Look up, stretch out. See what's up there. You'd be amazed at what's above you. And so try to do that. I'm just going to look at a couple more questions here. And so there's a question about walking and whether it's okay to walk, during a cycle. And of course it is. I mean, if you've got the earphones on and the hand weights and the knee highs, and you're chugging along around the track at the high school, no, I don't encourage that. But if you're just going to go for a walk, and you want to walk down a nature trail or you want to walk down the Erie Canal Trail or around your neighborhood, yeah, go for it. If you want to walk a couple miles, good for you. What I don't want is I don't want your heart rate coming up and sweat pouring off you. I don't want that, especially these next 6 to 7 days are kind of going to be critical, and we don't want that. Um, let's see. There's a couple questions. There's a couple questions in regards to meds and some of the different surgical procedures that I really can't answer. I wish I could. I mean, I could talk to you about it, but I really can't give um, broad advice on that. It's just out of my scope. I apologize for that. There's another question about how do we get our loved ones, our partners, involved in the nesting phase or the nesting, and good luck. You know, if you can, you know them the best, and you know how to talk to them the best. And I mean, anyone that's involved in family planning is super excited about it, right? So that in itself should be enough to be like, listen, you know, I understand you're busy too, and I can say this as as a man, that we want to do, right? Like we want to do, and I know women want to do as well, but we just want to do and, you know, use our hands, and not use our emotions and think, down the road. And that's our downfall in a lot of ways. So you need to say, listen, you need to slow down too, right? You're nesting as well. We're all nesting here. If you're not going to slow down, then I can't slow down, right? Because you're going 100 miles an hour. And you gotta break it down and be like, I get it, I get it. You want to do things, I want to do things too, but we need to slow down. So please, just try to break it down into a very simplistic approach. If you don't slow down, I can't slow down, and we need to slow down. So I hope that helps. Everyone's different, everyone's pace is different. Everyone's different. Um, but I think that's a good start. It's like quitting smoking, right? Like if I'm puffing away and my partner is trying to quit, and they're over here like, you got to do it together. So this is together, right? This is not separate. It's together. So and most people do understand that. But if you're having a hard time getting through to your partner that you need to slow down too, you just got to break it down. You got to talk to them about it, and hopefully they understand. And if they don't, have them call me, all right, and I'll talk to them, and I'll break it down. And so slow down, be good to yourself, um, eat well, eat high fat foods so you don't have to eat so much other stuff. If you're eating high fat foods, you don't want the empty calories. You don't want the breads and the carbs. You don't want it because it just doesn't even come. The sensation doesn't even come to you because you're full, and you feel great. So eat well, and try to dial back on your exercise. I do encourage it. And even after your embryo transfer, right? Depending on whether it was successful or not, or where you're at in that period, I don't encourage you to exercise. And there's always a time to exercise, right? There's a time before trying to have a family to exercise. There's a time after having babies to exercise. Trying to have babies and being pregnant are not the best time to exercise. Now, it's not for everybody. So and your body, right? So if you've been pregnant and you just had a baby and you ran a marathon, then I can't tell you not to exercise because you had a successful pregnancy, and so it works for you, right? And so you're going to go ahead and do that and go, good, awesome, drink lots of water. Um, but if it's kind of a on off thing, exercise, and it's not something that you are not a professional at, but something that you don't do regularly all the time, then I don't encourage you to do it during those periods. So I do encourage you to slow down a little bit, especially after your embryo transfer, right? Especially, and that goes for everybody. If you are a world class athlete and you just did your Iron Woman and you won it and you're on top of the world and you just had your embryo transfer, no exercise for a couple weeks. Just rest, let your embryo fully implant and start to grow with you, and keep your, we call it sedating or calming the uterus. You want to keep it calm. You want to keep your body calm, and so I encourage you to not exercise. Um, it's Exercise is good for you at certain points, but not during this point. Um, yeah. So please be careful with this heat. Okay. Try to keep yourself cool. Don't forget to nest. Okay. And if you need help nesting, you need specifics with nesting or suggestions with nesting. You probably won't like my suggestions because I'm gonna cover you in flowers and stick you in my garden and put an umbrella over you and give you tea. Um, cold tea sometimes. Take care, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you.